Hey, it's your girl Claudia Jordan, and I'm back with TGIF. We're here to spill the tea and break down the biggest headlines in the news and on social media. So sit back, relax, and get ready to sip on this hot tea. Please welcome Al Reynolds. What's up, Al? In the
Hey,
turtleneck.
what's going on, Claudia?
How are you?
Happy Thursday.
That's right. I see you with the turtleneck looking conservative. You don't get the chest out today. I do, though.
I see. I'm
I-
surprised Carolina doesn't have her tatas out.
Well, maybe we'll get them out tomorrow. We'll coax her out of that conservative. Oh, it's shifts. She's giving sheer. So our special guest co-host, Carolina Sanchez. Hello, Carolina.
Hey, hey. It's funny. I almost wore a very similar top to Claudia's.
You have in the same color or different color?
No, the same color. Same color. I have it in pink and black.
That way.
Oh, Sheen had a discount sale?
It sure did. It sure did. You know
That's
about
Claudia's
Sheen.
favorite. That's Claudia's favorite. She has like 1,000 pieces.
Listen, I'm about Sheen, Fashion Nova, all the little cheap stores. My clothes are cheap, but my real estate is high. Okay.
Oh,
Are y'all drinking tonight? What we drinking? What we doing? We hanging out? What we doing?
I'm definitely drinking. And look, this is what I did for all you buttery Chardonnay followers of mine. You can also add a little bit of ice because the key to a good buttery Chardonnay is that it's super cold. So tonight I add a little bit of ice to make it super cold because we got some hot topics.
Well, I feel bad because I keep asking if y'all drinking, and Carolina's sitting here trying to not be a heathen and trying to have some discipline and have a dry January.
I am making it through this week without drinking. I'm doing it. Though I really want to know more about Chardonnay because I really love a Sauvignon Blanc. I used to be a red wine girl and I'm turning into the white. So I'm like, Chardonnay.
No drinking out. Do you smoke weed or do any Molly or anything? Like, are you just totally clean? I'm sorry. That sounds really bad.
Right now. I'm totally clean right now. I ain't doing nothing. We are sober January.
Oh, wow. Not me, girl.
Right. I was about to say the same thing. All right. Well, let's get into the show. Dozens of previously sealed court documents related to Jeffrey Epstein were finally released yesterday. The documents contain some big celebrity names, but few new details. Now, some of the names that stood out were Naomi Campbell, former presidents Bill Clinton and Donald Trump, and Prince Andrew. Naomi Campbell, Donald Trump, and Bill Clinton were not mentioned as doing anything wrong, but in one testimony, Epstein told a victim that Bill likes them young. What are your thoughts on the unsealed documents? Let's go to you first, Carolina.
I mean, I really wanted more tea than what we're getting and we'll probably get. I know that the court judge decided to release them because she said that most of it is already public, so we might as well release it all. And I was expecting for a little more excitement, but it's pretty lame. It's stuff that we already knew at this point. Naomi Campbell, I don't think we knew that one before, but again, it's not like we're hearing that they were definitely on the island or at Epstein's ranch. Nothing too exciting yet.
It's the slow trickle. It's like by the time it comes out, we're going to be so irritated, like whatever. And maybe they're doing that on purpose to protect some of these names. Al, what do you think about this?
So I don't believe that, Claudia. I think they're telling you without telling you. I mentioned earlier on this show that they were using Bill Clinton for clickbait, and that's exactly what they were doing because we know from previous documents that he didn't have anything to do with it. All the people that we're finding out, Michael Jackson, Naomi Campbell, Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, they do not have anything to do with the case of being on the island. Now, I am glad so far that we have not seen any of our African-American pop culture icons, politicians, or any of our Wall Street titans on that list. But I am concerned for Chris Tucker because the Attorney General said that this information that she allowed to leak had already been out. So this is nothing new. There are no names on that list or would be on the list that you could not have gotten before. All the names that are from this point forward are the ones that have some type of involvement. Now, we've heard very clearly throughout the years that Chris Tucker was friends and flew on that plane. I just hope his name is not one of those that they're sealing for the real stuff.
You know, Chris Tucker, I've been around Chris Tucker from the beginning of his career, and we played a few celebrity golf tournaments together. He's actually seems a little paranoid and nervous about these kind of things. So I'm super shocked if he did anything dirty. I could see him attending events. But then we all don't seen the Cat Williams interview, right? And he mentioned Chris Tucker and said Epstein Island. I was like, whoa, the timing of that. All right, we have some comments from the soulmates. New Life said, "Me too, Claudia. Sheen for life. Hey, okay, that's right." And Fish Eye Jedi says these documents were dud. And Enzo D'Angelo said, "As long as Naomi was in the clear, I'm good." So I don't know. Robin McGee said Michael Jackson is on the list. But, again, like using the name for clickbait, on the list means what, though? Does it mean just showed up to an event or was definitely engaging in the sex trafficking part in the underage girls? That's two different things here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. Fans have been calling out Cardi B after she confessed to reuniting with her husband Offset while celebrating the new year. Cardi revealed that she and Offset were in between the sheets when the New Year's ball dropped. Now, their brief reunion comes weeks after Cardi took to social media to announce they were separated. Are y'all here for Cardi and Offset's hot and cold relationship? Al, what do you think?
Well, I've said it before on the show that, I'm a sucker for black love. I am. And when we talked about them separating, I told you that, and I said it here, that I didn't think that they were going to really be separated, that they would get back together again. And I've supported them a lot on this show because they just are such a cute couple and they have two beautiful kids. However, enough is enough. I mean, it's gotten to the point now where you're annoying me. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to be real. I understand the two have children together, which means they're going to always be connected, right? Carolina, you know this. If you go through, you got kids, you connected with them, and fine, I got it. It's okay to backslide. It's okay. And get you some stick. I get it because she said it was good. She's always said that he had good stick. Okay, fine, I got it. But I don't no longer feel comfortable because Cardi B is so powerful and so liked and so revered by so many fans. It almost feels like she's weaponizing her celebrity when she goes on these rants, calls him all types of names, curses him out, get us all revved up, get us all mad at him. We're all throwing tomatoes at him on the internet, only for her to go back to him. All right, I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of the roller coaster. Still love them. Still think they're a beautiful couple. Still support them. But please, 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 in 2024, take me out of the group chat. At this point, it's just not cool.
I mean, she sounds like, your best girlfriend who's over her guy and she's telling you, "I'm never going back." And then next thing you know, she's like, "Yeah, I'm going on a date with him again." It's, I think she's just keeping it very real. Like she's always been very real, very vocal about what she's going through. She's never holding anything back. I am tired of it, just like Al is. But listen, at least she's honest about it. She ain't lying. So if people did see them at the strip club together, you did. And she got some dick later. Can I say that? I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what it boils down to because I watch her and I'm definitely team Cardi B, and I think she really wants to be a wife and a mother. I think she loves that lane. She hasn't really released a lot of new music just outside of features because she's focusing on her marriage and her kids and her other brand deals. But she's really I think she loves that role, and I'm so disappointed every time Offset steps out on her because it makes her feel like she looks stupid. But if we're being honest, you guys, it's very easy for us to sit in our chairs while we're not exposing much about our relationships and act like this is not what a lot of people do. A lot of people, like Carolina said, I have friends that I have been on the phone with them for years of this, right? Where this is the last time, I mean it this time. And then, well, girl, shoot, he came over and, we all try to work it out. Then when you think about the dating pool and how much pee is in it in Dookie and married men. Mm-hmm. It's terrifying to go out there. So it's almost like you want to deal with the, what do they call
it?
The evil, even though, but I just wish Offset would stop embarrassing his wife because every time she takes him back, she gives him a shot and then we go, all right, we rocking with you, Cardi. And then you embarrass her again. And she has to be the one with egg on her face.
I think it's okay to take them back. I just stay off of social media whining and moaning about it. Like, just stop it. A lot of us take exes back. A lot of us have been in this situation. A lot of us do it. And it's okay, but we're not constantly going on Facebook and Instagram Live, basically getting all our friends to gain up against something when it's not comfortable. That's all I'm saying. Take your man back 100 times if you want. Let's read some of these comments. Okay, so D Love said they're still married until they get a divorce. She just needs to stay off social media. I agree, D Love. And let's see, who else? Y'all want to help me read some of these comments? Tanya Christopher said she's a woman, and that means she can change her mind.
That's right. That's right.
That's Tanya. I'm here with you, babe. And Angela Jefferson said Cardi just as bad as Christian and Blueface.
No, she's not. No, she's not.
I would not compare those two. Absolutely not.
Cardi's a married woman. And Cardi's a married woman. And, listen, this happens. I agree. The social media part is what's making people be less sympathetic. But if people are being real, we all have a friend in our life that we can point to and say, that sounds just like my friend, fill in the blank. It's the social media part. Yeah. But you know what? Cardi does this with everything in her life, though. She's always been very vocal about things that bother her. So I just think that's who she is. All right, y'all, let's move on. NFL star Patrick Mahomes' little brother, Jackson Mahomes, is feeling some relief after a judge approved a motion to drop the 3 felonies against him in his sexual assault case. Now, in February of 2023, Jackson was caught on camera forcibly kissing a Kansas City restaurant owner. But prosecutors are now saying that the woman is no longer cooperating. What's your take on this? Caroline, let's go to you.
I mean, it's got to be so embarrassing for Patrick Mahomes, like to have a little brother just getting all of these awful headlines. Like, lucky for him that the woman's not cooperating, not wanting to do anything with these charges. The video kind of shows you exactly what it is. Like, he definitely just comes on to her. She's taken aback. Maybe she liked it. Maybe she enjoyed it. But either way, like, don't be doing things to embarrass your NFL star brother. Like, don't be acting like that with a woman. Like, no. I know he still has one misdemeanor charge against him that they're pursuing, I guess, because he shoved a waitress at the restaurant that same day. So they're still coming for his ass.
It sucks that when you're the successful, unproblematic person that happens to be the most famous one, that's how the media frames it. Patrick Mahomes' brother, Bill Clinton's brother, instead of the person's name. So you get the smoke when it really was, you have nothing to do with it. Al, what do you think?
Well, that's just how it is. I come from an NFL family, and this is how I look at it. Patrick Mahomes has a $500 million contract. Okay, let me repeat that: $500 million contract with the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a 10-year contract. He's stupid wealthy. He gave his brother the money to make this go away, to clean up his PR. And it's worth it. Like you guys said, his brother's PR attached to him is ruining his image and reducing his ability to command more money. Now, we know this contract is going to be renegotiated in less than 2 years. Give your brother the money to make this go away so I can get out of the headlines, so I don't mess with my next contract. This is what makes perfect sense to me. Now, this is the deal. Now, Patrick, because this is the stance that you've taken, your family has a mark on your back. Now, you better get your brother in line, because now any other conflict that he has or interaction that he has like this, because it looks like he's having fun for his brother. That's what he looks like, using his brother's access to have fun and get all the ladies. Mm-hmm. Now he has a target on his back. Now, if you don't pull him in, everyone's going to make this a money grab, and promise you this headline is nothing compared to the future one to come if he doesn't get his brother in line.
I just want to jump in, and Caroline, I want to get your thoughts on this from another woman about this. I hate that even we were just guilty of making this about Patrick and his image and money, and it shouldn't be, because at the end of the day, I was just trying to sit here and think about, what if that was me and that, or you, and some guy just came up behind you and just started kissing you on your mouth? We don't know the relationship between the two. That was like a scary thing. I could not imagine someone coming from behind on me like that and just slobbering me like that I don't know. I don't give a damn who your NFL brother is.
Right, right. And what's crazy is like we're showing the censored version, and I went and I watched the uncensored version because I'd never seen it before. So for this, I went and watched it. And you can see that she is startled. She was definitely not expecting it whatsoever. She kind of like wipes her mouth afterward, and you could see she's like adjusting herself. She seemed uncomfortable. And then later on, he goes for it again. Yeah, I know the soulmates are saying that she must have been paid off. And
Maybe, but it doesn't take away from that. We should not just dismiss it as, oh, boys will be boys or it's okay, because it's not.
no, not okay.
No.
Never
All
okay.
right.
Never.
All right. Renee Royale said just about everybody has that asshole in their family that messes things up for the family's reputation. Well, yep. And guess what? As your family, it's your job to check them. It's your job to check them too. Coming up. Oh, we haven't spoken about this guy for a while. Kanye shares some provocative photos. Oh my God. Wait till you see these things. And later, a man goes crazy in a courtroom. Stay tuned.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
We got a few new phrases the kids are out there saying, and I want you to tell us what you think they mean.
McMillan and Mara.
Donald Duckin.
I went to graduate school.
Every Thursday.
To avoid terms like this.
And this is what my life has come to.
All right, next one.
Cambridge.
Okay, Mr. Harvard. Proxy beef.
Oh, I know what this is. This is when you don't have a problem directly with the person.
How did you know this?
Because I speak English. Proxy.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers. The Sisterhood of Women in Tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to TGIF. Shout out to the Soulmates rocking with us on this Thursday night. All right, y'all. Kanye West is keeping himself in the news this year after he posted some half-naked photos of his wife, Bianca Censori, on his Instagram account. Now, the photos left social media users confused, with some arguing that Kanye was trying too hard to mold Bianca into his ex-wife, Kim Kardashian. Fans also called out Kanye for over-sexualizing Bianca after he once criticized Kim for dressing provocatively. Well, I'll be damned. What are your thoughts on Kanye and Bianca's provocative photos, Al?
You know what? I got a question. Have we ever heard this woman speak before?
Nope. We saw her suck dick on a boat.
And she said he was stinky. I mean, I think we did get a quote. Friend said, I don't know. This marriage is becoming very odd to me. And these pictures to me have a very dark energy around them. It screams to me attention seeking. It's not sexy. It says thirsty. I mean, her boobs are down to her knees. So, I mean, and I'm exaggerating, obviously, but it's just not sexy to me. It's not sexy to me. These antics are giving me like Little Nas X antics. Like, and I don't know, maybe he's promoting something, but this ain't it. Maybe if they were in their 20s or 30s, but they're in their 40s, you got kids, that are like 4 kids, and North is grown as heck now. Like, seeing this, I just don't know. I want, who I want? I want the old Kanye back. I want the Alicia Keys, You Don't Know My Name Kanye, the Beyonce Party, Andre 3000 Kanye, the Jay-Z joint. What was the one that he did? H to the Izzo, la 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 la. Through the Wire, Monsters with Nicki Minaj. I want that Kanye back. Can we get that Kanye back? Because this Kanye is not a Kanye that I recognize. I think he's just totally going in the wrong direction, and he's better than that. He's smarter than that. He's more talented than that. I just want him to get back to what makes him the genius person that he is, because everything outside of this music and building schools and running for president, and 1 minute you're into Christ, next minute you're getting your weenie sucked on a boat, and next minute you're doing nude pictures. It's just not comfortable to me. It's coming off as thirsty at best.
Carolina, what do you think? Is it sexy to you?
It's not sexy to me. I'm not going to say that I don't find it attractive. Like, I feel like he's showing off his woman, which he's entitled to do, I guess. If she's down for it, she posed for the photos. I mean, it reminds me of his relationship with Amber Rose and the photos that they took together. But when they bring up Kim and how he really tried to censor her and not sexualize her, and he didn't like the campaigns for Skims, her shapewear brand. It's like, dang, like, why are you treating your new wife differently from your ex? And then I'm thinking, oh, maybe because she's the mother of his children, maybe that's where that is. But I wish we could get that old Kanye back, Al, but he ain't coming back. He's long gone. I thought he found Jesus there for a while when he went on the gospel on us, but I don't think we're going to get him back.
To me, Kanye's credibility is so far gone ever since he said this one line and then went right there with it. And when she get on, she going to leave your ass. When he get on, he going to leave your ass for a white girl. And then that's all he's been marrying since he got on and became a billionaire. Miss me with the BS. I remember when he had a beautiful black woman with him and he wasn't as crazy. And I don't know what he's doing with this, like, make my woman look like my whore or my sex slave, because she doesn't speak. She looks sad. She looks out of it, in a daze sometimes. And I think you might have to be in a daze to have to deal with him and his crazy rants. I mean, this guy that we used to love from college, the college dropout, I don't know if he even exists anymore. If you just look at his eyes, it just seems like there's nothing but darkness and confusion. You're saying things like, you're too good of an artist to, I'm not going to call you a genius because I don't think you are. I think we throw that word around way too easily. I just think you're weird. And the pictures gave me sex trafficking vibes. She looks like so sad, like she was drugged, and boobies, the top barely covering the nips. And if I was her, I would feel creepy that, well, if I was Kim, actually, you found a woman that looks a lot like me, yeah, but an off-brand version. We have some soulmates comments. Jalen Flowers said the photos are giving surviving Kanye West.
Ooh.
Sonny Lovin said, Bianca better speak up and say, ninja, please. And Tyshawn 03 says he dresses his woman like his favorite porn star, Francesca James. Okay. Hot Commodity says he's trashing her out for sure, and she's all for it. But then when he breaks up with her, he'll say that she was dressing provocatively. Like that. I mean, okay. Carolina, would you really? You seem like you would it a little bit. Would you dress like this on public platforms for your man? Like if your husband was like, babe, I got these little boy shorts, a thong, and little nipple covers. Would you wear them for me? And then
my husband is very like he loves me in really sexy getups. But as far as like, I was going to do a boudoir shoot for him, and he was like, I don't know how I feel about a photographer seeing you like that, like this for me. But when I do dress out and like we go out and I look extra sexy, he's also like, hell yeah, I see everybody looking at you in the room. So I don't know. My husband's weird. So I would never dress like that, like Bianca, but maybe my husband would take pictures of me like that. I don't think he would post them. I also don't see anything completely wrong with what they did, right? Like, I do find it to be attractive, unlike what you guys are saying. Like, I think, he's admiring his woman. Now, I am seeing a very hypocritical Kanye, though. Like,
That part.
this is not who you were with Kim. And I do love that the soulmate who said Kanye bought Kim K off Wish and then married her, because that is what it's
Kind of. It's given that. All right, y'all, switching gears. Let me get your take on this post from Spiritual Worlds. It says, do y'all think a female having no friends is a red flag? And does it mean she's the issue? All right, do you consider it a red flag if a woman or man doesn't have any friends? Alice, go to you first on this one.
Me personally, yes. I think it says volumes. It speaks volumes to something, emotionally or mentally uneven. I'm not saying that they're psycho or anything like that, but something's uneven because in life, relationships, whether they are friendships or not, it's a give and take, and you have to have them. It teaches you so much to have friends, So ones that don't, to me, are just either emotionally or mentally stumped, or they got something that they are, need help or dealing with.
Okay, Carolina, what do you think? Red flag, no friends?
It's a red flag for me. Maybe not a total red flag, but definitely not a green flag. I understand having a small circle. I understand that you may get burned by a lot of people, and so you have huge boundaries. But at the end of the day, if you don't have at least one solid friend, what's up? Like, what's going on? Why are you so distrusting of the world? What traumas have you been through that led you to get there? I will say that about women. When it comes to men, like, there is a huge study on how men are very lonely, and they can become very dangerous to themselves, and their health declines because of their lack of friendships, because men tend to bond over sports and women, and they don't tend to share the way women share their emotions, their feelings. And so therefore they become lonely and they turn to porn, they turn to video games, and it is very detrimental to them as individuals. And so it is common. And it's not necessarily a red flag. They need help.
I have one more question. Does that mean they also have no friends on Facebook?
No, they always have a social media friend now. I had this conversation with my ex, KJ. We're still the best of friends. And we talk about this. And he said, because when I met him, he didn't have any male friends. And he said, do you understand how hard it is for men to make friends? We can't just go up to, like, how girls will go up to someone at a party and be like, oh my God, I love your dress, or you're so cute. They don't talk to each other like that. And it becomes weird or awkward sometimes, especially with heterosexual men, especially because everyone's like, oh, well, is this gay or is this weird? You know what I mean? And I think, in our weird ass society where everything is like a thing and they judge, it's really hard for American men, I think. I think in Europe, things are differently. They are more affectionate. My cousins in Italy would walk around arm in arm, and it doesn't mean anything. It just means that their cousin, their friend, their bestie, whatever. I think it is tough for men to make friends. But as far as a red flag, I have a former, I won't even call it a friend, an ex-friend here in Dallas. Everyone was always a problem. Everyone, all those bitches are fake. They're this, they're that. I'm a real one. It turns out that you were the one that was really the mess, right? Because everyone was fake. So you're the one that has no friends. Right. And people that keep switching out best friends, major red flag. You have no long-term friends that can say, I rock with you through some transitions in your life and you haven't changed? Or do you rebrand yourself every time you fall out with someone? I don't know.
Good question.
All right. So coming up next, a comment. Al's woman, that's the name. Al, they love when you say woman. That I don't have a problem making friends. I'm just used to being alone, so I don't need them. And CT said, I wouldn't say it's a red flag. I just say they're a cautious person or have been hurt somewhere. Okay. Coming up next, a man goes crazy in a Las Vegas court, and later, Cedric the Entertainer denies Cat Williams' claims. Ooh, that interview shook the table on Shay, unblock me, Shannon Sharp. We'll be right back. I'm going to say it every show.
We got a few new phrases the kids are out there saying, and I want you to tell us what you think they mean.
McMillan and Mara.
Donald Duckin.
I went to graduate school.
Every Thursday.
To avoid terms like this.
And this is what my life has come to.
All right, next one.
Cambridge.
Okay, Mr. Harvard. Proxy beef.
Oh, I know what this is. This is when you don't have a problem directly with the person.
How did you
but the
know
person,
this?
because I speak English. Proxy.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Worried about your friend, but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR, it's all good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should.
Whatever gets you talking. Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Whatever gets you talking. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
I don't want to jump you, but you don't even qualify to speak on your so
Fucking good.
TGIF, live and interactive.
I need to clear this up, y'all. You are one of the main ones trying to push the narrative that your girl can't cook. Al has been in my house. I can cook.
I'm finna test you out right here. What are acceptable types of smoked meat to put in the collard greens?
Turkey necks.
Oh?
Don't do me.
On Fox Soul.
Don't you do me. Don't try it. Welcome back to the show. The soulmates are saying, unblock Claudia Shay Shay. They said, one person said, maybe he blocked you because you implied he's gay. No, we talked about his makeup and we were talking about the makeup and the makeup artist and whatever. I'm blamed for it. Okay, I'm going to send him, maybe I'm going to send him some
we did
wild...
imply that there was some rumors.
We talked about the rumors, but we didn't say he. I thought I like him.
Claudia be having that plausible deniability, baby. She emphasizes that better than anybody else I've seen in entertainment.
I'm gonna send him some wild grain croissants, and maybe he'll unblock me.
There you go.
Oh, you got to send him the peach pockets.
Oh, then is that will that seem sexual if I send him
He's from no, he's from South Carolina. He wants some peaches, baby.
You want my peach pocket, Shay Shay? Okay, Shannon Sharp. If you're watching, I want someone to clip this. Shannon Sharp, if I said anything to offend you, I'm sorry. I really like you as a journalist. I think you're a great personality. I'm not trying to shoot my shot at you, but I think you cool as hell. And I do not think you're gay. I think you're very masculine. And I love your interview with Cat Williams. Unblock me. And you blocked me on Twitter, too. I just saw that on Twitter.
She is begging, baby. Can I please? Please, Master Sharp. Master Sharp, please.
How you block me, but not you and fucking y'all were the ones saying the phone?
No, you're the one that brought up his stylist, and you brought up who his stylist.
The story was about a stylist. The story was about a stylist. I didn't,
It was about his makeup, woman.
No, we talked about him twice, his outfit when he was courtside, and then his makeup when y'all said cremation number 9.
Oh, God. Please, mass a little back on the
Shannon Sharp, I'm going to give you a peach pocket. Like that brand. We doing brand integration. Okay.
Right.
That should be an extra check, a wild grain. Okay. A 30-year-old man attacked a Las Vegas judge after she denied his request for probation during his sentencing. This was wild. Take a look.
In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court.
Well, he's definitely not getting probation now. Can y'all believe this went down in court? Now, this man was initially in court for being charged with attempted battery with substantial bodily harm and now faces new charges. Carolina, what are your thoughts?
I mean, when I saw this video, my jaw was on the floor. That is some superhuman strength. Like the fact that he was able to jump, because where a judge sits is pretty damn high, over the chair, grab her hair, take her down, and it take 3 men to get him off her. Like, wow. I wonder how the judge is doing. I didn't look into that at all, but look at that.
He had quite a vertical there.
Yes.
Al, what do you
He
think?
lost on that track and field.
Be a hell of a high jumper there. Al, what do you think about this?
All right, I'm gonna catch some heat for this, for what I'm about to say. And I'm prepared. So let me start by saying I do not condone violence, right? I especially not against a government official. But it was the tone in which she was talking to him. It was just so belittling. It was so condescending. It was so felt racially coded to me that I felt the ancestors. I felt the ancestors of all the black men that have ever come through that courtroom just rise up inside of him and go directly for that woman. And for some reason, I wasn't mad at it. I wasn't. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't mad at it. I just felt it. And she just looked like one of those judges. And I don't know who she is, don't know anything about her. But the way that she was talking to him was not human. Like he's still a human at the end of the day. You don't have a right to be so condescending and disgusting and rude to him. He's going to jail. He's there trying to save his life. So I felt like the ancestors of all the other black criminals that have come through there got it to him, and he leaped like a jumping, like a white man can jump, and he got her ass. And I know, give me all the heat. I'm here for it, but I ain't mad at it. I'm sorry, I'm not mad at it. But I will tell you this, I bet she'll watch her mouth from now on talking to those black men that come through her courtroom, because he snatched her up, okay, and drug her good.
So Al, I'm usually on some, if it was a black person, then it's because he's black. But on this case, as Keith Dennis said, he's a criminal that brutally beat somebody with the bat, right? And I'm sorry, if someone's black or white, I don't want them in my community around me either. And yeah, I don't doubt that she had a little tinge of a racial animosity behind that. But unfortunately, when they're a judge, they do have that power to do that. That's why we need more of us in these positions. We need more of us to still sentence him, but maybe do it with a little bit more empathy or a little bit more respect for the situation, so you don't push those racial buttons, right? Because then it's like, we know you're a violent criminal, but like, let's not antagonize you more to make you do something else. But beating someone with a bat.
Claudia, let's go to some of these comments. Julian Faber.
We gotta get Carolina's take first.
Oh, I'm sorry, Carolina.
I gave my take first.
Yeah, she gave her take. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Julian Faber said, "Oh my God, I felt the exact same way, Al." Okay, thank God, I'm not the only one out here. Deandra M said, "Me too, Al. I was cheering. Whoop that ass." Okay. Oh, I'm like that. And let's see, the real Katrina C said, "I guess he felt the ancestors too, because they jumped him up and flew him across that courtroom." And the last one by Tristan Lee says, "Like the fact that all those men could do nothing with him, she needs some better security."
Facts. He does need better security.
I'm against the racist people, but I'm also against, like, did he beat up a black woman? Did he beat up a teenager? Who did he beat up? I don't know. But yeah, okay. If y'all say so. Bow Wow took to Instagram to share how he really feels about the mother of his child. He wrote, "I wish my baby mother got ran over by a Mack truck." Damn, all this violence against women here. What are your thoughts on men who disrespect the mother of their children and men who humiliate women on social media? Like, oh, damn, Bow Wow. Okay, Al, let's go to you first on this one. Let me remember. And then Caroline, you next.
Oh, man. First of all, I didn't even know that he had a second baby mama. Did you guys know that he had a young child? I had no idea that he had a young child. Bow Wow is almost 40 years old. He's done such a good job of staying out of the media and being positive with his first baby mother, and that I support. Please don't start now. Please don't start this. You're way too old. Don't start this whole internet thing dragging the women that you've made babies with and that you still have a kid with. That's just not attractive. And Bow Wow, your mother has taught you better, because I know your mama. So please, please, please don't go down this alley. Do better. I know you're probably mad about something, but let's not bring it to the internet like this, to the point where you are saying, let's run over her with the truck.
Carolina, what do you think?
1000%. I think obviously he must have gotten so enraged about something, and that's why he went to it, but common sense took over and he deleted it. But I, as someone who has a stepson who deals with a baby mama, has a baby daddy, that whole scenario. For me, you can never, ever, ever talk noise or disrespect that other person because you do have children together. No matter what, you guys decided together to lay down and have offspring. You cannot be disrespecting a parent of one of your kids. That's a huge no-no. And especially to air it out publicly, that's even worse. I will never accept that from my husband, and I will never do that to baby mama ever, 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 no matter what our relationship is like, because at the end of the day, my son, that's his mom. I'm his mom. His dad is his dad, and we need to respect each other, specifically for him and his upbringing.
Imagine as a child that has access to social media or will eventually have it, seeing your dad saying they wish your mother got ran over by a Mack truck, and then say something happens to the mother one day. You know what I mean? I remember when my parents got divorced and they had a tumultuous, like towards the end of their relationship, it was kind of tumultuous. Not kind of, it really was. And it's a weird position to be in when your parents are fighting and you love them both and you don't want to take a side, but then one of them says something so trifling like that, and you can't really process that as a little kid. You can't process like, well, he was just mad, or my mom pushed his buttons, or he didn't mean that. You really think, you believe in Santa Claus and tooth fairies and Transformers and Smurfs and stuff. Well, I'm aging myself. So you know what I'm saying? When you hear that, you think like, damn, imagine that Bow Wow, come on, Bow, you smarter than that, and you more media savvy, and your mama is a good mama. So, okay, we got some comments. B-Bay says, like Kat said, the misery of these bums. And then Paulette Min says, what if someone said that about his single mom? And then someone else said, don't forget about the video of him on the elevator pushing his ex around. Maybe it's a history. And the chief said, Bow Wow in his Cardi B era. Yeah, see, it doesn't work out when you run to the internet and tell him. Because now we can be a witness like, yeah, he probably did do that stuff because he said that. All right, on a similar note, oh no, keep it locked, because coming up next, Cedric the Entertainer is denying Cat Williams' claims, and later, Sexyy Red, we haven't spoken to her in a few weeks, gives us a house tour. We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
What's going on, Claudia?
I'm in the White House, and if I'm not on the show tomorrow, then something happened.
You in prison.
TGIF.
Listen to what you just said. You are broadcasting your show from the White House. If that is not the hope and the dream of the slave, then I do not know what is.
Live and interactive.
I just met the White House press secretary, and she knows me, and I think she knows me from T. I said, I have to go broadcast. She goes, oh, that's right, you're live. And I'm like, you know about us.
On Fox Soul.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
My mom wanted my life to be better than what she had as a kid. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. You always want the next generation to have something better than what you had.
Welcome back to TGIF. All right, y'all. I know I already told y'all, well, I told Caroline and Al. I watched this Cat Williams interview with Shay Shay. Hey, Shay Shay. I'm gonna wear it out. 2 times in its entirety. I am obsessed with this interview. It's so good, and it's at 9 million views in 24 hours. All right. Cat Williams recently exposed Cedric the Entertainer for allegedly stealing one of his jokes. I love Cedric. Sorry, Cedric. Cat Williams said he thought that I was just a no-name comedian and that he could take this joke and nobody would know. Well, Cedric is denying these claims. He wrote, "My career can't be reduced to one joke." Cat Williams claims as his, "I've been in over 40 movies. My specials and brands speak volumes for who I am." All right, y'all. What do you think about this? And has a colleague ever stolen an idea from you to boost their career? Carolina, let's go to you first. Ooh, I must hit a nerve. Who done stole your idea, Carolina? Someone over there in at the Houston station? Let me find out. Do we need to come down
People
there?
know this about me very quickly. I will always give credit where credit is due. If a good idea comes about and somebody who came up with it is not in the room, I will always say it, even if they're in the room, because people are quiet. I am someone who hates when people steal other people's idea and try to take it as their own. Unfortunately, we live in a world where whoever is in a position of power can claim ideas and takes credit for them in rooms that other people don't get access to. So I get it. It sucks, but not around me, baby. It ain't going to happen. But back to Kat. What was the initial question around there? You hit something very serious for me because I hate that shit. I hate it. I'm sorry. So Cedric, I don't know. I haven't seen all the clips, Claudia. You were telling us that you've seen both clips. I saw the one where Cedric did the spaceship version. I would love to see like which one came out first. I believe Kat, and I only saw like the 36-minute version of that interview and was completely enthralled. Like, he didn't have to say everything that he said. He doesn't do interviews, but he decided of his own accord to come on because of everything that Steve, Ricky, and Cedric had said to Shannon Sharpe. So man, it's tough because everyone's coming out now addressing it. Even Ricky Smiley came out to address it. So I don't know.
What Ricky said did not really dispute what Kat said. He basically said the same thing, but just kind of worded it different. And he was very positive towards Kat. He was like wishing him well and telling people to come to his show. Cammie said Cedric also took that joke from Designing Women episode that Kat did not lie, which they did show that on the net. They showed this joke about this guy. His name was CJ, his initials, and he said, "Call me by my initials." You have to see the joke. I will text it to both of you after this. And there's also Mark Curry saying, Steve Harvey stole jokes. The internet is pulling receipts. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all judge. The internet is pulling receipts. Al, what do you think about this?
Cedric the Entertainer is my fraternity brother. I'm gonna stand with him. I'm not saying that Kat is a liar by any means, but Cedric said that the joke has DNA. And I can imagine that if you pull receipts from all comedians, they've shared similar jokes because that's what they do. They're comedians. How much new material is there really out there, especially over the last 40 years? People who like Richard Pryor may use a Richard Pryor today, joke. And is that stealing? I don't know. It's up to the person and how they interpret it. So I'm not that involved or that invested in that. What I am invested in is how smart, witty, great vocabulary, awesome storyteller that Cat Williams is. He is brilliant at what he does. And when given the chance, just like you've seen, when given the chance on a platform like Shay Shay, for 2 hours, this man has you engulfed from the beginning until the end. He broke the internet. Like you said, Claudia, 9 million views. And on top of that, he's charming. So kudos to Cat. Maybe we need to see Cat more in this light with his storytelling, than just his stand-up comedy.
I'm going to make a differentiate between stealing comedy routines, because I think that's a very, you have this nuance with a joke and how you set it up. Because someone in the comments, of course, someone's going to be shady, clicks and views said, "You stole from Nene Leakes." Let me just tell you something real quick. The idea and concept of a panel talk show is no one's original idea. That's been around for a very long time. Having a man or two from the community is not an original idea. As far as the panel space, that's been done a million times. Now, when you talk about the specifics and nuance of a joke, that is the similar as someone having a catchphrase. You know what I mean? Or something that they stamp with their routine. You know, like the not me girl thing. That is something that you can kind of pinpoint to that prisoner and that scared straight episode. And that we kind of took that from them, you know. So in comedy, yeah, I'm a huge fan of comedy. I'm friends with a lot of comedians. And when you work a joke out and the setup and the lead up to the punchline is similar, that's where you have a case. But of course, we've all made jokes, my baby daddy this, or, you know, white people this, and black people stereotypes. I get that. But when you take the setup, then that's where it gets tricky. Keith Dennis said, why is he so angry? He could have made us laugh for 3 hours, but yet he spent his time being bitter. And then Nabrice Cox said, I believe, Kat, he ain't got nothing to lose. Mark Curry been saying it for years. Also, we've said this on the show. You can't tell someone how to respond. He actually was responding to other people's interviews that were on Shannon Sharp's podcast first. So kind of puts it in a different lens. But I do love Cat Williams, and I do love Cedric the Entertainer. And it was hard for me to do this story, but we have to. All right, coming up next, Sexyy Red, and she's so sexy, gives us a house tour. And we're going to find out if Al would want to smash. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn. And she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out.
We got a few new phrases the kids are out there saying, and I want you to tell us what you think they mean.
McMillan and Mara.
Donald Duckin.
I went to graduate school.
Every Thursday.
To avoid terms like this.
And this is what my life has come to.
All right, next one.
Cambridge.
Okay, Mr. Harvard. Proxy beef.
Oh, I know what this is. This is when you don't have a problem directly with the person.
How did you
but
know
the person,
this?
Because I speak English. Proxy.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's got to come home with me. Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with turtle is a perfect day.
Welcome back to TGIF. All right, y'all folks, on social media, we're giving Sexyy Red a hard time after she gave her fans a house tour. Take a look.
What? Go see what your Gigi want. Go ahead. I'm getting it together slowly but surely, baby.
Do you think haters they think they're just being haters and they're just used to people living above their means? Or what do you think? Al, what do you think about that?
Oh, I think so. You guys know I like Sexyy Red. I'm a big fan of hers. I love it. I love that it was so simple and cute. And it looked like she was living in her means. I mean, there's no stunting there. I like the Spider-Man room. All of it just looked very smart to me. It looks like she's made some money. She's able to elevate her and her child and whoever else, Nana or whoever else is living there. It looks like it's a clean, safe place. And it looks like she's not out here trying to be somebody that she's not. And she's not trying to stunt for nobody. It looks smart. It looks reasonable. It looked like a new home, starter home, or a new starter space that she's trying to put together. I love the fact that she has a whole bunch of pink stuff around there. It's very girly and it looks comfortable. And her son looks happy. And what better feeling than a mother, a young single mother providing a safe haven for their little child. He looked really happy.
Okay. Carolina, what do you think?
Listen, I would kill for a home right now. So listen, I ain't gonna diss nobody's house. No, absolutely. If people are finding anything wrong with her home, they're just being haters, because it's, as Al pointed out, it's clean, it's furnished, it's got her touch of pink all over it. Her son's room looked absolutely spectacular with all the gadgets. She says he doesn't spend any time in there because he's always in her room. Like, they nothing wrong with her home at all. I want it. In fact, let me move in, Sexy.
Carolina, having you here with your perspective, and when we talk about money and housing, and then knowing that you just, you went through a fire and you lost things, it does put a lot of things into perspective. It really does. So thank you for that. I'm going to say this. I think the issue with why people are coming for her and celebrities is because there's nothing. Let's be clear. There's nothing wrong with her place. There's nothing wrong. It looks clean. It's a normal apartment. It's fine. It's cute, right? It's because when we see people on stage with $100,000 worth of jewelry around their neck, that leads people to believe that you have so much extra money that you can afford to get this big necklace that says Sexy on it. That's like this big. And that had to cost about probably maybe $100,000 or $200,000 for that. Now, true, the record label may have gotten it for her, and then she's in debt to have to pay that back. So I think that's probably why people do that. But if we're living, I talk about this about reality stars all the time, how fake they be living. And I think that it's good that she is living within her means. But I would probably, I think the jewelry probably is what makes people kind of want to be like that and come for her. But listen, there's nothing wrong. If it was dirty, then we'd be coming for her because she has a child. But it's not. It's clean. And she got them dishes that wash, they drying, they air drying. She good. Ruth Huxtable said even MTV Cribs people wasn't showing their real homes. That was a real home, Sexy.
Oh, my goodness. That's my old assistant. Ruthie Huxtable is my old assistant from New York City. She was when I was married. We had a couple of assistants. She worked with us. Hey, Ruthie.
April Seward said she needs to save those coins. She doesn't know how long she'll be here. And Honeybee said she's getting it together. All them folks talking about that girl home and they're struggling. That is true. A lot of people talking the most trash about where people live. What you got going? How many roaches you got in your house? What you got going on? Do you have a dining room table? No, you do not. Okay. In some feel-good news, a Burger King worker who went viral for getting a goodie bag after not missing a day in 27 years of work is now the king of his own castle. 55-year-old Kevin Ford went viral in 2022. We covered the story from a video of him showing off the small bag of items he received for his hard work. Well, after going viral, his daughter created a GoFundMe page that raised over $400,000. Kevin used the majority of the money to buy his first home. I did donate to this one. I felt very, very invested in the story, and he seemed like such a nice guy. What are your thoughts on this feel-good story? Carolina, how you feeling? You over there smiling?
I love it. I love it so much, because you rarely get the reward of seeing what happens after a GoFundMe takes off. So to see that Burger King didn't do jack diddly squat, but give him that goodie bag, to him, to the community rallying for him and raising $400,000 and him being able to get his own palace. Come on, that is amazing. That is the best story.
I love it. I love it. Okay, Al, what do you think?
You know what? Actually, Carolina, I think it was 500,000. I meant to look at it again. I looked at his GoFundMe. I think the goal was 400,000, but I think he actually raised 500,000. So he spent $170,000 on his home. He gave some money to his daughter who created the GoFundMe account so that she could put a down payment on her home. And he still works at Burger King. Wow. And the only day that he missed, I think, at Burger King, because he's, 20 some years or 40, whatever the
27
years, 20 some years. He only missed one day, and that was when he was on the Today Show. The story is just so endearing. And the thing that I like the most about this, and I'm going to keep riding the piggyback off of the Sexyy Red story, is the modestness of this. I love the fact that he got $500,000, but he only used a third of it on his home, and he paid cash. Most people in his position, and let's be real, run out and get a brand new car, or run out and get some jewelry, or run out and get some clothes. No, he went out. He was smart. He got a modest home. It's an hour from his job. He still works every day. He's still saving his money. My hat goes off to him, not only for him and all his hard work, but for also how he moves smart financially. Thumbs up to you, and I wish you the best.
We're going to continue ending the show with positive stories because I think we need more of that in this world. So I am leaving. We are ending the show with a smile. I want to thank my co-hosts, Al Reynolds and Carolina Sanchez, for joining me tonight. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Thanks for the likes. We appreciate you. Stay tuned for McMillan and Morrow, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Y'all have a good, safe night, and y'all have a good one.
Bye.